reducing the 3% swing there, which puts the Liberal Party ahead. But that's as I said, it's only one polling place, so it's not a reliable first preference booth. But I think Greenway, of all the seats which are on small margins in Western Sydney, Greenway is the one the Liberals would be least confident about winning. I mean, a 1% seat, given what's going on, you'd normally expect to win, but clearly the problems with the candidates has distracted the Liberal Party from the campaign in that area.
OK, now the seat of Lindsay, it's hard to imagine a seat in the country that's had more attention than Lindsay in the outer western suburbs of Sydney. David Bradbury won this seat for Labor in 2007. He's the Assistant Treasurer. He went into it on a knife-edge margin of 1.1%. We've now had 3.8% of the vote counted. A swing to the Liberals.
And what we're seeing here is that we've got 3 polling places which are good Labor booths. Two of them are good Labor booths, and the Labor Party is miles behind on first preferences. We've got a preference count on one booth, which is Mulgoa, which is semi-rural. And in that booth, there's a 4.4% swing. But just looking at the first preferences I'm seeing there, I think the swing is actually bigger in other polling places. So I'd say I think Lindsay's a definite fall for the Labor Party there. They're very early figures, but I'm confident enough looking at the first preferences I've got to suspect the swing will be bigger than that when we get on further.
OK. Arthur?
On Lindsay, look, someone had sent me a note that out at Mulgoa there was a 9% primary swing to us. I mean, we were expecting to win this seat, and that's what's happening. I think Anthony's right that some other seats there may be personal factors that do come into it. Greenway, there's obviously been issues around the candidate.
Has he been seen in the last couple of weeks?
Oh, yeah, he's around. He's around.
He's around somewhere.
Not by his mum.
You weren't in charge of looking after him, were you, Arthur?
No, well, I was up the Central Coast.
So was he.
but I mean, Lindsay, you'd be expecting that sort of result, I would think.
Look, I'm just curious to know how a candidate like that actually gets through the screen.
One day I'll tell you the story off camera, because I think it does raise some issues. But look, I'm not saying Jamie's not going to win the seat. Let's just see what happens. But I don't think the Liberal Party should have kept him under wraps. Once he fell over, they should have got him on his horse again and got him out there, in my view.
Greenway's been a sort of serial problem for the Liberal Party in the last 2 elections, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, look...
late to Priest last time.
Yeah, but that was a general issue in New South Wales. There were some debates around late selections.
Well, Lindsay, young David put in a Herculean effort last time to still remain in the Parliament. He's a very good minister. He's a very good local member, but I suspect on this occasion that the strength of the title will just be too much even for him. But we were worried about Lindsay on the last occasion, and he was one who held against the tide. But I think tonight's just going to be too much of a national swing against him to hold on his local credentials, which are significant.
Of course, what has happened over the last decade, I suppose, is that Queensland and New South Wales, broadly speaking, had become much more liberal. The southern states, Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania, had kind of held out for Labor. But it would seem to me that there's unlikely to be any bright spot anywhere left in the country for Labor at the end of the night.
Well, if you take 1996 as your model, we had, in that election, we lost 30-odd seats, and we had 3 or 4 seats throughout the country where we had a small swing towards us, 3 in Victoria and my own seat of Perth in Western Australia. The only bright spots I see tonight, other than good colleagues holding the ground, like Wayne, for example, is we'll win Perth with Alana McTiernan, and I suspect we'll increase the margin there. We might be an outside roughy chance in Solomon, given just...
You're saying that the margin is going to be increased now that you've left?
Yes. I'm saying that 1996 might be the model, a swing against the government and a defeat of the government, but a swing to us in Perth. Solomon we should just watch. Luke Gosling, a very good candidate up there, former member of the ADF, so that one I think might just be an outside roughie. But your general point, the last election we were saved by strong votes in South Australia, Tasmania and Victoria, a record 2-party preferred vote for us in Victoria, a very strong vote in Tassie, and despite the swing against us in New South Wales, we held the line in the marginals. Now, all of those things, to some greater or lesser extent, are catching up with us tonight.
Well, speaking of the former ADF members, we've got Mike Kelly standing by and Eben Monero, but before we cross to him, we might just take a quick look at that bellwether seat just outside Canberra in southeast New South Wales. Mike Kelly took this seat in 2007 with the change of government. Holds it, or held it before tonight on a margin of 4.2%. We've now had 20% of the vote counted, Anthony.
Yeah, we've got 20% of the vote counted, and we've got quite a significant 17 of the 84 booths with preference counts. And at this stage, seeing they're the first preferences, let's factor in the polling places, which is so important to know in this electorate. And the swing is 3.1%. The Labor Party's ahead. That's not enough to call this electorate.